Newer monsters are always on the right, right?
I think so. Yeah, that should be how it
Yeah.
works.
Ooh, the flying thing is in here. That's cool. Okay, that's cool. What does this guy do? He's definitely fire, I think. Cool.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it is though. It's like distributed between weapons and
You gonna bull grain or are we gonna duel? Which one?
I'm sorry, I've been scared. Okay, I guess I'm pulling.
I mean, it's fine. I'm just wondering.
I'm scared, bro. I'm sure. Also, I'm pretty sure there's no pity on this banner except for like if you pull like 3 times. So yeah, that's not happening.
Are you not gonna pull on the banner?
No, I am currently pulling. But, like I'm saying, like I have no guarantees on this. This cannot be guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I
Gotcha.
looked it up. There's also pity doesn't carry over between. So like, okay, pity does carry over, but like, 50-50 pity doesn't get carried over.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, like, no, pity does get carried over. It's just not 50-50. I am so surprised, by the way, that I just got Nefer. What the fuck?
Yeah, right? In like 5 holes, yo.
By the way, this is someone that I
Charlotte,
wanted
the journalist
to,
with
but
the
I didn't have enough pulls
It's a
for her
pleasure to
last
meet
time.
you.
Oh,
if you've
really?
got time, would you be open to doing an
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I failed my 50-50, I think.
Yo! Okay, on 40 pity. Okay, come on. Give me it. Give me it. Give me the twig. Give me the fat boy. I'm waiting. Come on. Bro, stop teasing me! You're edging me right now! Stop!
We got Lynette.
And all
Yeah,
to that.
I got Lynette.
How are we
yeah.
feeling today? Excited? Surprised?
Nice.
Oh, you're curious how I appeared in front of you like this? Well, your eyes are like topaz, precious, pure, and lovely.
Congrats,
Yeah,
Granny.
I like them. I've decided I'm going to put on a show just for you.
Yapping.
Watch carefully now. Blink and you might miss it.
I can hear him.
Can you? Wait, you can?
Yeah.
And then Lynette right after. Wait, I got the twins back to back.
Nice.
Yo.
Wait, hang on. What is the best weapon for Nefer, though? Is it only her Sig? I think it might be.
Okay,
because isn't her Sig?
Your luck has rubbed off on me, bro. Thank you for that.
Oh, no problem. Apparently, I have luck now. That feels great.
Yeah, right. Also, I know I said like,
Got
oh, if it took too long, I wouldn't play TCG, but I want to play TCG. So
Fair enough. I'm just making sure about something. Damn, is her thing not one of them? Well, I can craft that though.
Also,
yeah,
they was like telling me like he'd give me like a private show or something, bro. I don't know why he's muted. All that shit.
How kinky. Bro was giving you supreme service.
For real, bro. Okay,
I'm randomly on the loading screen because I went on Google briefly. Okay, there we go. I am alive. Let me do like 3 pulls on a weapon battle.
Okay. Yeah, because you're definitely gonna get it now.
Yeah, I mean, watch.
Watch, bro.
OMG, you know what? Nope.
Oh my god, that's so crazy. 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 Oh my
Okay, how do I invite you again?
I should probably emphasize again that I'm rarely so open
I'll
with
let
anyone.
you remember how.
I guess it's because
Okay,
you're
bro.
not just anyone.
Yes. You can remember, right?
That's okay. Did you get it?
Oh wait, let me get off of this. I don't see it.
Okay, maybe I did it too early. It says pending approval.
Friend? Let me look there. Oh, there we go. Now it popped up.
Okay.
Aloha.
This one's got your name on it. Watch out!
It's got my name on it.
Wait, it's not invite character, it's co-op match. Yeah, that's right. Oh wait, what deck do I use?
Now disappear!
I don't remember.
What strength level are we going for?
Oh,
there?
we did do a whole like system with this, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't remember it at all, but I was just asking, like, what strength level?
Like second highest strength.
What do you mean by second highest? The
Strong, but like not strong.
I guess that's this deck. Unable to matchmake in co-op mode. What?
I think you're trying
Wait,
to
is it
play-
inviting it? Oh, there we go.
Oh shit, which deck did I pick? Burning.
I think I picked something else.
You remember the burning deck, right? This is okay. Maybe this is my strongest deck. Never mind.
I mean, if you wanted to do strongest, we could, but we'd have to exit this.
Yeah, okay. I think burn. I was gonna say like burn is that strong, and I was like, wait, didn't I say this before? I did, and then it was the strongest deck that I had.
To be fair, though, are we gonna remember how to play our strongest decks that well?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh shit! I forgot about Bleeko Sit Lolly. Oh, I hate that.
Well, we agreed on strongest.
We did.
Right?
Oh, that. I dislike so much.
Dude, I don't even remember how to play it. What is this hand? I think this hand is good. Question mark. Oh my god. I can't remember how to play, bro. Is it this person first?
Wait,
I think.
probably Emily.
It would be my honor.
Also, wait. The cards actually look half decent. My PC is strong enough to handle Genshin TCG cards. I like the laptop. Crazy.
Okay.
This is very wild to me.
I dice luck as shit as usual. Love to see it. Okay, wait. Okay, I need 3 to do that, and then yeah. Let's spend 1. I think I can spend 1. Okay, how do I? Yeah, it's this thing, right? Yeah, elemental tuning. Yes. Okay, and now I press this button.
Rise with the sun.
Okay. Oh fuck! What do these do? Yes, this one. Confirm.
Oh right, I never did learn how Mabuko worked. I was just kind of like pretending I did.
What do you mean? I've explained in depth like so many
I
times.
remember you have. I just like never did understand. It's like yeah, of course. Ah, that's so clear now. I understand it all. And then I understood nothing.
Okay, buddy. I mean, I tried helping you and everything. You
You
can't say
did
that.
try. I won't take that away from you. I just didn't understand. I know you get an ultimate that like does damage based off of how many stacks you have, and it's up to 6.
Wait, does this not... When you use a technique... Oh, it only counts the attack thing. Oh. I thought it counted equipping it. That's no problem, though. I may only be on one dice, but I'm not out of options for dealing damage. Go! 3 damage! Wait, it said 3, though. Oh, right. Yeah, never mind. Go!
Maybe not.
Now you have to spend 5 dice. Yeah! Now, in my turn. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, by the way, my deck is... I think my deck is pretty complicated, so, like... me not remembering it probably gives you more advantage than you think. I'm not trying to be mean and say your deck isn't complicated, but I feel like most of your deck happens to be
just burn. Burn and then burn again and then burn.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be rude, but like I'm pretty sure your deck was just simply like do those 2 things. Oh my god, so much damage.
Burn, bro.
Oh, I drew for some reason.
Oh?
Why did I draw?
You just felt like it, bro.
True. Relatable, actually. You know, if I could, I would draw my whole deck in front of you right now.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, that was just simply the draw phase. But it didn't seem like it. Okay, whatever. What does this do? Oh. Yeah, that's what that does. Okay. Let's do this. This isn't what I need. Okay.
This artifact better activate, by the way. It's not my active character, but it better do it. Wait, they changed this card? Deals 1 physical damage to your active character. Draw 1 artifact. Whoa! Wait, they reworked a card. One of mine. It used to give me, like, free 2 dice if you, like, damaged me twice, but now it says I can draw an artifact for free if I... or for 1 cost if I deal 1 damage to myself. Ah, okay.
But you have to deal it to yourself?
Yeah. Apparently. Kind of bad.
I see.
Like, if you only have 1 artifact in your deck and you really rely on it, I could see that being a thing.
I see. Damn, I was really trying to get cards in my hand that were not from the original deck, but I cannot do that.
How long will this require exactly?
Oh, wait. That's right. My character does something, doesn't she? I should read her. Oh, that's what she does. Yeah, that's pretty useful.
Bloom as the flowers in Gurabad!
Oh.
Wait, did that do 2 damage? Yes! Okay, the artifact is kicking in.
Man, that hurts. Very rude. Where are you going all You should be going, oh, no, no, no. Or, I don't know, actually. I'm sorry.
Apologizes.
Oh, why'd you kill me?
Yes!
No, you shouldn't have done that. That's so mean.
Yeah. I don't know why this did 4 damage instead of 3.
How does this work again? I don't know. I should probably end my turn, shouldn't I? I think I just end my turn then. Battle equip gamblers. Oh man, that's so much damage. Am I dead? Might be dead.
Yeah. Does it activate? No, it doesn't, because it just got spawned in. This whole deck really is just burned.
I'm not. Silali didn't die, right? I didn't see. Yeah, she's not dead.
Though, you do get killed, because Emily's thing says anybody action triggers burning.
Well, I mean, Silali will shield herself. Surely she won't die.
No, wait. If it's one shield, my artifact makes my burning does do +1.
I could do this. That probably doesn't really give me... Man, the cards in my hand are kind of bad, but...
Really? That's unfortunate luck for the first game there.
Get to
I mean,
work.
it's decent, but they're not, like, exactly what I could...
Ouch, man. Also, did that not trigger?
Yeah,
Why did it...
easy clap.
Wait, why did this not...
I'm
After...
I am invincible.
When your burning flame enters play, after the next time it uses a skill, trigger 1 instance. Yeah, so you should do that. Why aren't you doing that?
Too bad.
Okay, sure, I guess.
You shall die.
What if I don't want to?
Too bad.
It's a little bit.
Just let me get a kill. Just let me get a kill. Come on, it's fine. Just kill Sitlali. Let me get a kill. Come on. Come on, come on, come on.
I want to use this, but it's going to do 8 damage too much too, so I'm gonna do this one instead.
Take
Darn.
me. Stars
Like,
above.
have like Grambler's ears.
I already equipped it onto Sitlali, by the way. I'm not sure if you noticed.
Oh, wait, you did?
Yeah,
But,
so I was just mostly joking there. Well, I mean, I can obviously kill you, but... Oh, wait, I didn't mean to do that. Oops. That was a misclick.
like, didn't even... Oh, you used technique.
I didn't mean to click that button.
Okay.
I meant to click a different button. Don't kill me.
I'm instantly spamming this ultimate. I hope you know I'm spam clicking this very instant.
Wait. Oh, it counted as a quick action? Okay, never mind. I guess I'm okay. Whew.
Oh, okay.
Thank God. I don't have anything that can kill you though. Bro, all the cards in my hand are useless.
Don't kill me.
Oh my God. I can't use these. I just can't. I guess I'll do this. I can't do anything else. Ouch.
A process of elimination.
The flame burns.
Dude, my hand was so bad.
Yeah. So when I said burning is probably like a medium strength deck, I probably was not correct by saying that.
I mean, it's fine. I got to go and help my mom with something though. Apparently, she was bothering me about it. But how do I exit the thing? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Did you say you had to go though?
Well, I mean, I don't have to go technically. I was just going to go out and drive somewhere, but I'm asking my mom if she needs, because she messaged me like I think 6 minutes ago saying if I could go get her some milk or something. I guess I said I'm in a match at the moment, and then she was like, "Okay, never mind." I said I'll get it in a minute, and she is now not responding, even though I asked her, "Do you still need me to get it?"
Fun, very fun. Fun is still fun.
I don't know why she couldn't wait like a single minute, but
One individual.
what does she even need milk for, anyways? I don't see any cooking supplies in here. Well, I mean, she's not messaging me back, so I guess.
I know.
I guess so.
I know.
They add new music. They did add new music to the rhythm game. Hell yeah!
Ah, did they?
This is very important to both you and me. Yep,
Totally. Okay, she found her phone. Half a gallon of milk. Okay. I guess. Can I even get milk at Dollar General? I don't know. Guess I'll find out. So, lovely weather we're having, eh?
Weather be weathering right now. If only you could weather, it would weather.
Weathering waves.
Ah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I didn't DoorDash. It's literally because I had to wait for offers for like, I think, I don't even know, I tried to wait for offers for like an hour and a half or something. I didn't get anything. I was like, I guess I'm on low priority today in like the market. So since I didn't get any at that time, I decided to just stop for the day.
Yeah, I mean at that rate, right? It's kind of no point.
I'll eventually need to ask my mom though, like, what's the word? I eventually need to ask her though, like, how much is the phone bill and stuff like that. That way I know how much I need to be paying.
Alright, phone bill, money.
She hasn't. She asked me like what was it? I think it was something like, as soon as you're done with the college and you're starting summer or whatever, you're gonna have to pay your own phone bill or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, sure. But she hasn't told me like how much the phone bill is exactly.
Some ambiguous amount. You'll figure it out eventually.
Well, I mean, I just say that because like every single time, like when what is it? When the phone bill like runs out or whatever it's called, she always like waits a day or two to like pay it off because she usually like I don't know, her payday is always like off of the date of the thing. I don't know. So she always like there's always like a day or two just like once a month where like without any Wi-Fi here.
Just like one off.
Yeah, just randomly. So which I guess I'll just ask her at that point, but I don't know. I need to ask her earlier than that though, because I need to know how much money I need to save. So
Alright, how much you need to not spend.
yeah. Because if I don't know that, then I'm just gonna end up spending like I don't know, like $50 or something, and then she's gonna be like, "Oh, I need this much." By the way, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, well, I'm like probably like $30 or $20 short because I spent some money recently."
Oh, too bad.
Then again, I guess it wouldn't really be a big deal. I'd just tell her to wait a week.
Or like DoorDash
Yeah.
today or something.
She was also mentioning something about insurance, but that was before we got into this other person's like insurance plan or whatever. So I don't know if I still need to be paying that or not because so since it's two things, like I don't know how much I need to be saving or how much I need to be doing when it comes to that stuff. But oh wait, huh? Never mind. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'll have to ask her that randomly at some point. But for some reason, she always likes to play hard to get, quote unquote, and just refuses to tell me things.
You want to know information? Imagine. Bozo.
Basically, yeah. I don't know why. I'll ask her about something. She's like, "I'll tell you later." Disappears. I'm like, okay, well,
Bye. Goodbye. I will never see you again.
yeah, I'll never seeing you again then, apparently. Clover Valley milk. Do they want whole milk or 2% or what? I can't remember what was the milk that we had back there. I think we had both. I don't know. I'm gonna text her, I guess. I'm just gonna buy 2% if she doesn't reply because it's cheaper.
That is always how that works. If it's cheaper, that's the better option if there's no other preference.
I mean, if it's just milk, then okay. Someone who is lactose intolerant, I can tell the difference. But can you tell the difference between 2% whole milk?
I tell the difference between like whatever milk I'm currently drinking and like normal milk, but I don't know what that is, so it might just be like some vegan bullshit.
You mean you don't know if it's whole or two? Well, okay. To be honest, I don't remember. But like, so you know for a fact that it's not regular milk, though, right?
I know it's not regular. I'm checking right now.
Okay, then that makes sense. Then you probably have like almond milk. Oh, you have 1%.
I don't know what that means, but it says 1%.
1% is in between 2% and whole.
Okay, so I tell the difference between whatever I normally get and 1%.
Okay, I'm just gonna get. Let's get this 2%, I guess.
battle is actually getting a little bit engaging. This is the chart. Also, you still here, by the way? Assuming he's buying.
Galena-chan.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
I forgot.
Thank you for being. Huh?
Yeah? I was gonna say,
Where are we
how
going?
bullshit I made this chart. Why did I do this? How am I doing
Made this.
I'm doing a rhythm game thing. I made my own chart, and this is awful.
Ah, see. Glad to see you're having a lovely time. I'll see you. I am not.
Very lovely, of course.
Nick, you're like, I am going to go to sleep. And then you said not.
I'm sorry, but Genshin TCG calls my name, bro.
Wait, you're still playing TCG? I thought you were playing the rhythm
My
game.
rhythm game, for my mind. Genshin rhythm game calls my name.
Makes sense.
Why? Like, yo, I was evil in the past. Straight. What is this?
What, did you make like a song and it was really hard?
Yes.
I remember how I tried to make a song that I would believe would be impossible to solve, and then you told me that you actually had to get like a certain percent on. I was like, ah!
I would very much love to see that song though, even if it was just like a recording. Just the absolute bullshittery you put for me there.
It was basically going to be impossible because all you said was like, I think like your only requirement was like, oh, you don't have to press more than like I think a certain amount of keys at the same time. I was like, okay, understood. So basically, throughout the whole song, you have to press like I think 2 or 3 keys at the same time. Or something.
Okay,
And it's just
that's not horrible as long as you don't do button spam, which is like the same exact note again and again, like 16 times a second.
Oh no, it was basically that. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, sure.
And not only that though, but I had a unique flavor to it where like even outside of that, you always had to continuously spam just one side of it. It was just like an additional input, basically.
Sure. Very entertaining.
So like you could be doing like the normal-ish parts of the song because I did allow like a few breaks, but you would still have to keep mashing, like let's say like the left stick or something. I don't know. Like you have to constantly press square, and you would have to spam it throughout the whole duration.
Screw you too, I guess. But what?
I thought it was very, very funny. I mean, all you said was like, "Oh, don't make it to where you can't press like those keys at the same time or whatever it was." And I was like, "Understood. I can do anything else."
Everything else is on the table. Not quite what I meant, but sure.
But it ended up happening, and unfortunately, when it said, "Oh, you have to be able to clear it yourself," I was like, "Fuck, yeah."
Shit. Is there anything that you could clear that I was unable to? That would be like there's some secret technique that you have to use in order to clear it or some shit.
Let's play a rhythm game, but like you have to pause like every 5 seconds.
Wouldn't that make it easier?
Yes, but I heard that for people who are really good at the game, it sets them off rhythm, where for me it wouldn't.
I guess that's kind of true.
Yeah. But yeah. Figured it was pretty funny.
Yeah, if I'm quiet, it's because I'm locking the fuck in and I'm kind of getting my ass destroyed by my own charts.
Makes sense. Imagine if you would have to pause every 5 seconds on that.
Okay, maybe a little bit annoying. You know, when you started like pressing 3 notes at the same time every single beat, that's kind of what my charts already are, but they just don't do that, like, spam the fuck into my face. It's just like normal BPM 3 notes at the same time.
But you have to make it to where they don't want to play your same song again after they clear it once.
Right. Does it even sync with the music at all?
Oh no, I wasn't even considering it at all.
There's so much just listening to it. Wait, that's just inputting buttons. That's not even a rhythm game.
Well, there was a rhythm to it. There was break point. So.
What the fuck is this bullshit?
Bro is struggling to finish something he's already finished.
Stop!
Okay, finally, I think I'm able to charge my phone. Dude, my phone has been on like 10% for like the past hour.
I forgot how much I love this rhythm game, bro.
You like rhythm games, period.
Yeah, but like this one, like I don't know why, it's like more lenient with the accuracy, and there's no like extra bullshit effect. So I'm like, actually, just rhythm game, pure rhythm game. There's nothing else in here.
I see.
I guess it also does help that I like charted my own songs. So it's the exact difficulty and like design that I want.
Makes sense. I think I remember like when I was making a song, I was trying to make it easier and easier so that way I could barely clear it. And like it just wasn't.
Did it ever work?
No. The requirement of having to complete my own song was too much.
Really, was it? How? I could never imagine why that could be.
I remember when I did play some of the rhythm game though, how I'd pause sometimes. You were like, pausing actually works for you? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that surprised me the first time I saw it, but then like I kind of understood, like, oh, now you get like a break to like understand what your next buttons are, and it kind of made sense from there.
Well, see, like I was missing notes, and then you're like, I don't know, you were like, you're already off rhythm. How are you going to get back after pausing? Oh. Which I don't think other games let you do that, right? Like the other rhythm games, I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, maybe only like practice mode, but like typically they don't.
I see.
Oh, I love my own charts! Golly!
Did bro hit 75% accuracy?
It just so vibes with me. It's just difficult enough for me to like barely not be able to do it. So every time I go through it, just rubs against that good spot.
What's barely be able to do it for you?
I missed 13 notes out of 700 or 600.
Oh. Is that not just a perfect score?
Perfect is 0 notes.
Yeah, that's basically 0.
Basically 0 for me would be like 3 away.
You missed like 2% of notes if you round it up.
It's 2% too much, yeah.
Is it?
If you really think about it, that's like 90% of the chart is free, so it's really like 2% of 10, the last 10%, so that's like really 20% I got off. I got like a B minus, you know?
Bro got a wither skeleton skull saying that like it's a 20% chance. That doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, because the first 90% you're gonna get, regardless of how like awful you do, so like, you don't even consider it in like the actual percentage. The last 10% is all.
What do you mean? I struggle all throughout the way.
Well, you could probably give yourself like the first and the last note as like you will always hit this, but everything else is like actually question whether or not you will or will not get it.
Yeah, but that's hardly like, that's not even like a percent. That's like that's like a third of 1% or something.
I think your songs have like what, like 100 notes in them, right? So that'd be like 2% of your song that you would consider. You know, if you scale that up, that would count for more and more percent as you get more and more free notes.
Well, yeah, but that's just because like it's like the first and last. But like if I were to count the first and last for like 200 or 300, my performance is still going to be the same.
Yeah.
As long as it's still at a slow pace.
If you're able to
Like for example, it could be like look, it could be a very very slow song, and it could have 1,000 notes, but that doesn't mean that like it's any less or any more, right?
If you're able to do songs that like last 1,000 hours, that does assume that your skill's a little bit higher, right?
No, but like it would be at a really slow pace. Like I'm saying, like it's like baby level difficulty, super slow. Like you just have to sit down and wait for it.
Okay, if there is a song in this game that lasted like 30 minutes, I would be obliged to agree with you. However,
well, no, it doesn't. But it doesn't have to be a Genshin song. I mean, like any rhythm game out there. Like there's probably one that's like really slow, for example, that you could just make yourself as well. Like
I guess so, yeah. But like, okay, the system only really works where like the system doesn't get broken.
Like okay, by your logic, then, since I get like let's say 75% on an easy one. Let's just say hypothetically,
Yeah.
then that would mean on your song I should get 75% as well, by your logic, right?
No. If you get 7, what my system
You're saying that the percents are equal.
I'm saying that what you should consider in a percent is not how many notes you hit, but how many of the notes that you maybe could not hit that you did hit.
But I'm still saying like only missing like 2% is basically just getting perfect score though.
Yeah, but the majority of the song are free notes, which is why I should only.
You say that, but it's only free for you. For me, it's not.
Yeah, so it should be counted if you're playing the song, but if I'm playing the song, then it should not count.
Yeah, but at that point, if you play like a lower level song, then the whole song is free.
Yeah, and if I miss anything, I'm a fucking cock, and like I'm god awful.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying that since your song is so much harder, missing 2% on a really hard song, that just basically means that's perfect.
If your expectations are lower, then yes, it would be almost perfect. But the expectations are not lowered.
Yeah, you're going off of like a hardcore score, but I'm going off of common sense.
Common sense is whatever score difficulty you're at. So it could be even worse than mine. It could be even easier than yours. It's just.
Okay. Let me phrase it then. Like a common looking, your mom looked at it. Like they only saw like 2% missing. Like if you got like a 9, like that's basically perfect.
Okay, then that's a taking it at face value opinion. Then yeah, okay, I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 2% missing, 98 out of 100, like percent. Like that's basically perfect. Like if I get a 98 on the test, like even if it's like a statewide test, like I'm not gonna be, oh man, 2% off of 100. It's not even good. I go, wow, I got better than.
Yeah, okay. Let me throw that back at you. If you were given a test and the first 9 out of the 10 questions are completely free, it says every answer is correct, and then you get all 9 of those points, would you consider the last 10% of the test to be your score, or the entirety of the test to be your score? Leaf?
Here, I'll hold my phone at another angle. Anyway, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, like I was saying, I would count the whole test because that's what's reflected. Like me getting a 90 out of 100, that's why I'm score. Because on my report card, that's what it's going to say, obviously.
Okay, that is what will be said on the report card. But is that what you will believe your score is?
Yes.
Okay, we have differing opinions then.
Because look, okay, if I'm taking a real math college course and like it's like okay, it's a freebie like literally all the first 9, and the last one is like the only one that actually challenges you on. And even if I miss it, it's like, who cares? I got a 90. I passed the class. Let's go. I'm really smart.
So if you're saying you gave a test to like some 2-year-old and they also got a 90% on that test, would you say that child knows 90% of that subject?
Well, the tests are like accumulative, like throughout the whole time. Like we would have to say multiple tests, but if it's like multiple tests and they all go by that margin, but there's also homework assignments. So are we also saying that the homework assignments are also like that? If
We're
so,
not
then like
saying
I
a
can answer.
school setting. We're saying an like assessment to assess this person's aptitude at this skill. Not like a school setting, just like a test for anything, anywhere.
Well, you would have to increase the age though, because 2-year-old couldn't even like do the simple questions though.
That's exactly why I'm using a 2-year-old. That they can't do
Well,
that. But that's a
Well, a
free
2-year-old,
question.
but no. The freebies that you're talking about, you would have to circle the correct things. Like, for example, the question could say, "What color is the sky?" And the obvious answer is blue, or at least most of the time, right? Like, let's say it says, "It is daytime on a normal day. Nothing special is happening. What color is the sky?" You would say blue, right? But a 2-year-old isn't even going to know that. They're just going to like scribble on the paper like messily. So therefore, they would get 0 and I would get 90, even though mine are free.
No. These are freebies. It requires 0 input. It says select any answer or no answer at all for this to be correct. It can be any level of difficulty.
Here's the thing though. Like if those questions are there and like you don't have to get it correct at all, I don't really think that qualifies as like a question.
Exactly.
Like if you have no, but here's the thing though. Like what you're saying is like what you're trying to say is like those questions though, like they don't like anything at all, but like you would in order to actually select an answer, you still have to circle something. You still have to have an input into something. So a 2-year-old wouldn't be able to do it. Now you could just simply say a 10-year-old and then we can get to the same part of the subject. A 2-year-old isn't like smart enough to even like
just to move along the conversation, since this part doesn't matter if I win or lose this, we'll just say 10-year-old.
Yeah, and then at that point, like yeah, they're equally is what the test is asking you for, then yes. If that is what the test is asking you for, then yeah, we're
Okay, so then let's make this a more specific example. 10-year-old test. Test is on what math are you doing right now, or what was the most recent math class you did?
I don't know. You can just say calculus. It doesn't really matter.
Sure, Calc 3, like differential equations. 9 out of the 10 questions are every single answer is correct, including leaving this question blank. And then the last question is actual Calc 3 differential equations. If this 10-year-old scores a 9 out of 10 on this test, would you say that 9-year-old is 90% proficient in Calc 3?
Yeah, I mean, if the test was requiring that, and that is what the professor went by, then yeah. Because that is what the professor goes by. And as long as the professor doesn't get in trouble by the university, then that means the university gives that okay on that as well, which means that is the state standard. So yeah.
This is not a school setting. This is a test with no context around it.
Well, context is important though, because you want it to be math, didn't you?
Okay.
You can't just
let's give it a variable context then. Let's test it at like different levels of context. Let's just say I just wrote this test. I have no qualifications. I'm just some random dude and I wrote the test.
I mean, yeah, because I mean it's just some random test. Why would I care?
You would consider
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, I would consider like I mean, considering how many random things are in this universe, like I'm only proficient in, like maybe like a handful of them. So like yeah, of course like the 10-year-old is most like 98% of the time, in fact, we can even use that percentage. Yeah, me and the 9-year-old or 10-year-old is of course going to get where I'm perfectly fine with that. Yeah.
You're perfectly fine
because it's no specific thing.
with differential equations.
Well, that's a specific example, Gran. You said we weren't going by specific scenarios.
Not doing specific contexts, the test still remains the same. Let me specify that.
Oh, so we're very specifically testing on a specific thing, being math.
But context will not have any specific parameter.
I don't know. You're setting some unfair examples here.
I'm setting
Like
examples that perfectly what the fuck? Painting. What does the illustrates? I'm picking examples that perfectly illustrate what I'm trying to get at its core.
I don't really see how those are similar though, because like the 10-year-old and me, like I'm like in like a sort of profession where like I don't even know what you want to even call it. Like, I mean, but like, yeah, I really wouldn't care because like, okay. Again, you're saying this isn't like in the universe, some random context that doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, okay, then why should I care though? I'd probably go, yeah, sure. I'd just move about my day. Like, I wouldn't care. I go, yeah, that makes sense, and just move on because there's no other context relating to that, right? So I would go, yeah, makes sense.
Then let me then specify. Would you say that that's an accurate statement? You're currently being asked to judge whether the statement, this 9-year-old knows 90% of differential equation Calc 3 calculus. Would that be an accurate statement?
I mean, that has several stipulations to it, though, right?
What stipulation?
I mean, am I able to therefore like test them myself? Like, am I able to ask them a question if they're in front of me?
No.
And if so, then I would be able to.
Given.
Well, I mean, why not though? I mean, like, if they're saying that, then like I can say, okay, well, they know 90%, right? And they go, yes, according to the stats. I go, okay, good. Now I can just ask them a question, right?
No,
and they should know it.
This is a hypothetical in order to illustrate why this principle is the way it is.
Yeah, but I'm saying that like as long as someone is able to see the results of the test and also me like questioning about it, then they should also be able to logically go, oh, well, then they actually don't, or you know, this and that, which is like the exact example that we were talking about before when it comes to like how outstanding regular people look at your rhythm game and stuff, right? Like that is the same.
How is this connected to rhythm game?
I mean, because there's a random person in both examples, and they both have like a surface level context. So, like, as long as you ask them like those sorts of, and like as long as you were to ask them like a question, like it reveals the same thing either way.
Well, okay, well, I don't understand what your part is, but can I get through my hypothetical in order for this to finish up, and then you can clarify what you mean on your end?
I don't really care about my own statement, but you can go on with yours.
Okay, sure. So, would you say, with only the information given to you, that the 9-year-old who did a 9 out of 10 on this test is 9 out of 90% proficient with whatever subject it is? Let's say Calc 3.
I mean, you said that I don't have any other context. I would say yeah.
And okay. No other context, as in you do know the contents of the test, and you do know the result, but you don't have any other way to like query the child.
I mean, yeah, I would just have to accept it. I mean, how do I know how smart the child is?
So then you accept
That
the
test,
accuracy of the test.
that test, like how you stated, right? It doesn't matter like how well we do on like the first 9 questions, whether we leave it blank or not. However, by that same qualification, I'm also not able to get the last question, right? So how do I actually know if the kid is actually not as smart as I am or not? I don't know. There was no way to actually determine anything. There wasn't like an extra stipulation question that I got right, but he didn't, right? So therefore, yeah, I wouldn't actually know. He could actually be like a super genius, for all I know. I don't know.
Well, are you saying that?
So yes, I would agree.
Are you saying that you're considering the possibility that the child got the last question correct?
No, I'm saying that like since the first 9 questions are all freebies, like it doesn't matter. How am I able to stipulate if they actually could have answered calculus questions, like real calculus questions? There is no way to determine it. So therefore, yeah, we would be equal standing based on the test. Yes, that is like logically how it works. So yes, I would have to accept that.
And
Because what if this 10-year-old is actually a super genius? I don't know. We got the same score on the test that was all freebies, and we both missed the last question. So therefore, logically, I have no idea if
what
he's...
you're saying is the child doesn't know the logic of the last question, but he could know everything up to the last question, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that, like, okay, if me and the child both get the 9 out of 10 on the test, we both get a 90, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know the last question, and he also didn't know the last question, right?
Yeah.
So based off of that, since there wasn't any other type of information available to me, like there was no other like miniature test, like let's say like, oh, we actually had one problem that actually does test calculus, right? Since there wasn't an actual problem besides the last question that I also missed, there wasn't a problem that I was able to get right that he did not. So therefore, yes, I would not know if he's super genius or not. So therefore, yeah, I would just have to accept it because there's no other problem.
So what I'm saying is, we're saying that this child knows everything up to this question in calculus, but not the question itself in calculus. Yes?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying like the freebie scenario. Like, I'm not sure if you're changing it or not.
I'm trying
but like
to say exactly what you're saying right now.
Yeah, I'm saying like there's no way to verify. Like, yeah.
Like, are we saying the child knows a lot of shit that we're not testing for?
Yeah, like he could. He could.
Yeah. Is
right?
that what you're saying? I've been trying to confirm this for the last like minute or two.
Well, I mean, with how our arguments go, Grain, we always get onto each other if we're not very specific. So I have to make sure that I'm understanding what you're asking.
Okay. In that instance, yes, it is a possibility. However, what we're being tasked to do with the information of the test is to prove what they do know. Yes?
Yeah, and there's a good chance that he could be a super genius, or he could just most likely not be one, right?
It is not
I don't know.
Possibility. We are not testing to see what is possible. We're testing
why
to see
not?
what is.
Why not?
Because the test is to prove what is there, not what is not there. The test is not to test negative space. It is to test positive space. It is to see what is present within their skills, not to test what is not present in their skills.
Yeah, but there's nothing to test though. There's nothing there. Because you said the test is just a freebie.
It tested the one question of Calc 3.
Yeah, and we both got it wrong. Like, there's nothing to test because the freebies aren't questions.
It tested the Calc 3. That's the one thing it tested.
I left my paper blank. I don't see how... both our papers are blanks or just random scribbles. Like, I don't...
So yeah, you
so we're equal. Yeah, so we're equal, so he is just as smart as me in Calculus 3. Yeah, I agree.
That's not the question, whether or not he's as smart as you. The question is he proficient in Calc 3, irregardless of you?
Yeah.
He is.
The test says so, yeah.
Okay, then the question then becomes, is that not illogical to give him a score off of skills that he did not demonstrate?
I mean, I didn't demonstrate them either.
It doesn't matter about you.
Yeah, so therefore it's logical. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's logical.
Prove the logic.
I mean, he got a 90 on the test.
He got a 90 on the test using methods that did not prove the skill.
But it's a 90 on the test. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
He was tested, he showed 90% proficiency. It doesn't matter, Green. There's a 90 on the test.
The 90 on the test is capable of showing improper information. It is possible for
it doesn't matter. That's what it's tested on. That is the standard. That is the standard because there is no other contexts that we're allowed for this. That is the standard. That is correct, yeah.
A test
it's logical.
Existing does not inherently prove its own validity.
But if the test is based off of like, if the proficiency of the said child is based on the test, then it is of that test. Yes.
It is one test that tests the proficiency of this. It is not
And
the test.
there's things, yeah, but there's things called ACTs and SATs that are one test that accumulate, that are supposedly a test that actually tests like all the effort you put into high school. But I don't think those are legitimate because
Well,
those don't realistically reflect how well you actually did throughout the whole year.
however, they do a like reasonable job at that. Where you
Not
can
really.
argue. Well, this is a different argument, but
Like I think like, okay, when it comes like, okay, yeah, but let me just do this little side tangent real quick though. People who do good on the ACT and SAT, the only people who do good on them are the people who take the test over and over again. They aren't the people who are actually smart and take it one time, because if you are actually smart and you only take it once, your score is actually really bad. But you could be way smarter than another person who did take the test multiple times, and also, but their last score is counted. I know this because my ACT scores, I'm not sure if you actually know this, I don't talk about a lot. My ACT scores, besides the math, are really bad. They don't reflect how smart I actually am in comparison to everyone else who actually takes the test over and over again. And therefore, like, they just have a proper score. Now, that could simply say, oh, well, then that's showing less effort. Yeah, but that's not showing the effort of all the school years. That's just showing the effort that you put towards the very, very end of like your senior year that you just put into like, I don't know, like a few tests. So like maybe like, I don't know, let's give like a max cap of like 50 hours in, right? But it doesn't show like the 2,000 plus hours or however many it is for like your life, right?
right,
Like,
but isn't
I
that exactly what it's trying to test? How well, like, it's not trying to say how much are you worth in your entire life. It's trying to say how much are you, how well can you study for a test, any test. This is
Well,
just
no,
basically
I
what
would
it's testing
say,
for.
but I would say it is testing you throughout your whole life because that is like what colleges look at. Like your college is basically like they do look at your school GPA as well, and some colleges do value that like legitimately more than a ACT sometimes, although it's kind of rare. But for like an actual big university, like it all comes down to basically like the ACT, and that's all they look at, that one score to evaluate you as a student, which is your whole life, like academically. Like, yes, I would say that
Okay,
it does determine.
so then that is a flaw in the people who are looking at the score, not the test itself. Then the people are
Yes, but
using
there's yes,
inf-
but again though, like by that logic, you're saying that Harvard is flawed.
yes, in more ways than just this test. In like very many ways, more than just this test.
Yeah, but what I'm just simply saying though is that like, yeah, that's why like a single test isn't really like a fair like equivalence to test your whole life against. Yeah, and like I do agree. Like I do agree that those.
Ok, chào Tiến.
Oh, wait.
Ok. Chào thì nhìn đây chứ nhìn ngoài chứ. Chào con kìa.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
Okay. And like I was saying though, I do think it's unfair, yes. However, that's just simply how it is. Whatever the test says, that is truth. So therefore, using like the child example of like the test and saying like, okay, is he like proficient in calculus or not? It doesn't matter what he did throughout his whole life. He got a 90 on the test. That's all that matters. Because that is what we go by academically. Like
That
we
would be correct.
like we as humans, we use AI to cheat. We use this, we use like there is no like moral high ground as long as like it all counts, right? Like it doesn't even matter. Like whatever it says on the thing that is socially accepted, like by officials and government or whatever the hierarchy, like that is the truth. So if he got a 90 on the test and that is what he was tested on, then you're damn right we're equally like proficient.
That would
Because
apply
that is what the paper says.
if that is what the test is testing. SAT is valid for testing skills of the SAT. However, it is being used in order to evaluate skills of your lifetime, which the data is correct. The use of the data is incorrect. Do you follow?
Yes, but like the same time though, like I have heard stories of some people who were really lucky, and they were just frank up honest. They were like, "Yeah, I'm not smart," and like they did an SAT and they got insanely lucky and they got like a really high score by pure luck, right? Like by that same logic, like that if you're just lucky, you are smart, right? Like you can literally know nothing. You can literally just be a 10-year-old and circle like all your questions throughout the board, and you do have a chance of being just as smart as you, like according to the paper and according to like how Harvard would accept either of you, right? Like if he got one more question correct than you by just circling it and like drilling on the paper, like he would be more like, like qualified for Harvard than you, and that would be factually correct. Like, do you see what I'm saying here? It's like whatever the paper says is true according to society.
The edge case of getting several questions correct by sheer luck is an exception
It's
case
not
so far
okay. Look,
out
I
that
will
it's
say,
enough to
like,
be negligible.
okay, yes. However, it has happened before because there are like billions of people out there, right? It doesn't matter how small the chance is, how improbable. The fact that there is a chance for that improbability to occur because there's such a large, what is it, like sample size? I'm not sure what's the word for it, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like as long as there's a large amount of attempts at it, it will happen. And there are stories of people who just got like insanely lucky and they were like bragging about it, even though they didn't know like jack shit on it, right?
Those
Like,
cases are both not complete luck because even some information could like make one question a guarantee. Like even just one question would drastically make the chances a lot better. And B, so rare and so infrequent that it's enough to be hand waved. And if there's more than just infrequent, then there's other business going on besides luck, as in cheating.
I mean, yeah, but cheating is still allowed in this case too. Like if someone cheats and they get like a high score,
What? Well, how did we get to that conclusion?
well, I've mentioned it before, like briefly. Like I said, yeah, cheating AI, it doesn't really, I've already mentioned it before.
Yeah, I did
Like as
not.
long as you cheat, like if you cheat and you get away with it, it doesn't matter. Whatever the paper says is true.
Hold. Well, okay, wait. Can you justify that real quick, or is this just like we accepted because of sake of accepting?
Well, I mean, that's just simply how society is. Like as long as you can get away with it and no one's there to like, like see through you like a almighty God or whatever, like it is acceptable as long as you don't get caught. Everything is acceptable as long as you don't get caught because they don't know.
Well, if we go by those rules,
That
then
is
like
like how
there's
society
no
works.
point in any of this argument. If you can do things as long as you don't get punished for it is valid, then any argument is valid.
Well, I mean, I'm just simply stating that like in terms of like cheating on the test, right? Like it could be as far as like just simply cheating for like one question and like the rest of it could be valid. But like there's no real way to verify because like if you were to probably test them, like maybe they could have gotten that one wrong, but that's not really enough show to tell that like, hey, maybe they cheated, right?
Okay.
Like what if you only like have you ever had a moment in your life where like you did most of the test, but there was like one question that you didn't quite get, so like you kind of look at someone else's paper? Like I'm pretty sure that's happened to you before once. Like just for like one question.
We
Like
don't sit close enough.
that,
To each
that
other
is like
to do
a
that.
huh?
We don't sit close enough to each other to do that.
Well, I'm just simply saying like if that did if you did sit close
Like,
enough, then I
I
mean,
know what you mean, and like, yeah, just like for other contexts, like sure, but like, okay, zooming out, I don't care about any of the specifics of this. If we're arguing that you can, anything is valid as long as you don't get punished for it, I can sit here and argue I can kill kittens, and it's correct because I just killed them in the forest and I don't get punished.
I mean, again, we're going
Like,
by
what?
societal law, though. Yeah, we're going by societal law. So, like,
Okay,
yeah,
so
it
what's the point of
would be
any argument?
well because like because we were talking about like stuff. Like, obviously, when we're talking about morals and ethics, then like obviously cheating comes into account
Okay, but what's the point of
because
me saying
because you were
anything's right?
derailing into that.
Okay, what's the point of any of this being right or wrong if anything can be right or wrong?
Well, again, we were talking about moral, like ethics and like dilemma because you were spiraling into it. It's like obviously that topic comes up because you already said it yourself. You're the one that mentioned cheating first, right? Like you mentioning it first means that we were already topic where like it was valid to discuss because you mentioned it first. I didn't like I think I did mention it first myself, but like that was just like an offhand comment. I wasn't even bothering with it. But like you like directly like quoted it or mentioned it. So like I don't know why you mentioned it, but you mentioned it, not me.
Okay,
Like in terms of
I
like for
mentioned
major
the
discussion.
topic of cheating, and then correct me if I'm wrong. You are the person who is holding the belief that if you do something wrong but get away with it, it's okay.
Well, again, I was saying that in the context of like other things. But then you mentioned like cheating. I was like, sure, I guess, because you mentioned it.
Okay, get rid of like cheating, get rid of all of that. Do you hold the belief that if you get away with something wrong, but get away with it, it's okay?
Are you talking about society wise or are you
Just
talking
that statement. Just that pure statement.
well again, are you talking about morally or like in terms of like societal beliefs?
Do you agree with this statement in all contexts, no matter where it's applied?
Are you asking me for academic textbook definition or are you asking me for like as me as a
Your
person?
belief, you.
Well then I would say no.
Okay. Are we going to apply it here?
I mean, we're going off of a test about like a statewide like thing determining like the child's like proficiency in calculus, and that is determined by society. So like, I mean, what else am I supposed to say? Because you are the one that did actually have a test where like 90% of it doesn't matter, and that is basically cheating as well. That is actually, yeah, that is basically cheating. So how is that not simply like similar to like one another? Is it just simply because we're on equal playing fields? But at the same time though, other people who are proficient in calculus weren't tested in this sort of test, right? So like by that logic, anyone else who is proficient in calculus that could be more proficient than me, but they're not specifically 90, like let's say they were 89, by that point, is it fair that I'm actually ahead by that logic? Because I'm basically cheating then. So how is your example about 9 tests on a test that are just complete freebies? How is that fair? Unless if you're saying everyone in the world goes by that. And in which case, if everyone in the world does go by it, then it is a fair stipulation because that is how it is tested.
The test example is meant to display how this test is invalid, how it is not okay to say that the score that you're given on a test of freebies is representative of your score, of your capabilities of that skill in general.
Okay, but here's the question though. Are we or are we not going the test? It doesn't matter if the test is valid or not. My question is, are we going off of that test? Yes or no?
You are deciding whether or not we
No,
should
no,
be
no, no,
going
no,
off
no,
of
no,
the
no.
test.
I'm asking you because this topic is about you. I'm asking you now. Like, okay, I'll answer my own side after I hear your side about this.
My
Is
opinion
this
on the
test
matter is
being
that
stipulative? Yeah,
my opinion on this statement is
yes
that
or
the
no.
test is invalid, that you shouldn't use this.
Okay, but
However,
no, I'm not asking that. I'm asking, is the test itself, is that the showing if they are, like proficient in calculus, yes or no? I'm
that's
just wanting
what
to
we're
know that. Don't
deciding.
go about anything else.
That
Yeah,
is
so I want to
exactly
know
what
that.
we are deciding. That's what I just
Yeah.
answered. No,
So,
it is
yeah. So,
invalid. That's what I answered.
okay. So you're saying the test is not showcasing the skills of the calculus, then, right?
Of my personal opinion. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
I'm not talking about personal opinion. I'm talking about of the scenario. Is the scenario going off of that test? Yes or no?
Wait, okay, wait, hold on. Are you listening? Okay, wait, let me write this down. So that this is, like, both plainly seen.
No, I'm making this very simple. Like
Deciding
for the
whether
no, I'm
or
saying
not
like
this
for
test is
the
a valid
scenario. No, Grant, I'm saying
experience.
for the scenario, is the question like I'm asking you to restate it from way before. Like, is the test like the deciding factor for them? Like for the scenario, not your personal opinion or anything like that. I'm asking like is that like what is happening? Yes or no?
Okay. I don't. Okay. I can't say this in any other form than how I've already said it. That is a
No,
core
okay,
part of the
look.
problem.
Let me explain it to you then this way because I'm trying to verify something. Okay, so there was a question where it was in quotes. I think it was something like, do you think this child is as proficient in calculus as you? End quote, right? Like that is the question that we were being asked, that we have been being asked.
Wait. No, it was, is this child proficient? 90% proficient. Not comparison to anyone else.
So it's just, is the child proficient on like what? Is it on the test or on the subject about the test?
Subject about the test, not the test itself. The
Okay,
subject that
so
it's
about the
claiming
test.
to represent.
Okay, so we are going off of the test for their proficiency, yes?
No, that's exactly what we're trying to decide. Does this represent it? That's the question.
Well, no. Well, okay. What I'm asking though, what I'm trying to ask is like, where are we getting the proficiency question from? Because when we're asking 90% of the individual subject or whatever, like, where is this 90% coming from? It's coming from the test, right? Like, I'm asking, where is the 90% coming from? It's coming from the test, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then by the test logic, then yes, they are 90% proficient.
Did we decide that the test is an accurate example of skill?
I mean, does that matter? It's just whatever the test states. But like, I would say yes, it's inaccurate. But like, doesn't matter
That's
though.
what I've been asking. Is the test
Yeah,
accurate? That's the only question I've been asking.
yeah. But however, not like two things can like, what is the word? One thing can be right, but another thing cannot also be right. Yes, it is inaccurate, but it is also fair to state that that is an accurate representation because it is based off the test.
Like, your
Like, it is
statement is
inaccurate.
correct. You can have your statement be correct. That statement is not what I'm asking. What I am asking is this test accurate or not? Yeah?
I mean, it depends. Because again, we're going back in a circle. Like, it is accurate depending how you view it. Is it accurate amongst society? Yes. Is it accurate like morally? No. Like, are you asking me if it's morally or like within societal ways? Because you haven't asked me that specifically for the test.
I need to write all of this down because we're going in circles, man.
Okay. I just want to know, do you want me to answer this morally or technicality?
This
Like, which
test,
one?
this test is individualized to your belief. This has no bearing on the rest of the world. The topic can be anything. We just so happened to use math as the example. So,
I mean, again,
no,
like,
this is
and
not
I mean,
off of
what?
technicality nor morality nor society. This is your own personal belief on whether or not the test was accurate or not.
There. My personal belief varies on who asks. If it is correct net technicality if the government asks me, but if a friend asks me, then no. There you go. It's written down.
My own personal belief varies depending on who asks.
Yeah, because if the government asks me, I'm not going to say what I actually think. Why would I? I'm going to get in trouble. So therefore, my personal belief varies on who asks me.
What you say varies on who asks you, but your belief is within you. You don't have to say out
No,
loud. for it to be your belief.
my belief. But my belief does tie into society and all that as well, though. Like two things can be right, Gran. It doesn't have to be either or. Like I believe both. I believe both sides equally, depending
So,
on who
okay,
asks. I
you're
believe both
saying
sides equally.
you're saying if you have a statement and one person says this statement is false, another person says this statement is true, you believe both of them.
Yes, in this context. In this context. Specific context, this one right here. Yes. What is hard to understand about that? Like, depending who asks me, I believe both. I believe it isn't just. However, I also believe that that is logically, like, if that is the test that we went by as a testing for these things, then yes, it would have to be correct. Like, I think both are correct because I'm also a very technical person. Like, I'm a very, very technical person. So I think both are correct. Morally it feels unfair, but at the same time, like, why do I care? It's just 90%. It's not like oh, whoever gets higher or whoever gets lower on the test dies or something, right? Or okay, well maybe that wouldn't work because they're both 90, but I don't know, let's say hypothetically it's like, oh, if whoever gets the lowest score, whoever gets the exact same score dies. Then I'm like, okay, well now I'm morally objected or obligated to argue, right? But as far as I'm concerned, like in terms of personal belief, like, and then again, when it comes to me dying, like you could say, okay, however, when your life is on the line, it doesn't matter if you're wrong, if it's whoever's the lower one, and if I were to like, what is it? Like, even if it was like the vice versa, like let's say it was actually smarter than me. If my life is at stake, then of course I'm going to try and argue and say, no, I'm smarter anyways, right? Because my life is at stake. So that doesn't even matter part of the thing, right? Like what I'm saying is that depending who asks me for this situation, yes, I think they're both right.
You're saying that a statement doesn't have to be mutually exclusive.
Yeah. Because I believe both of these sides to be correct. Like when you're asking me like either or, I'm like I can't choose because I think that the test is invalid because I don't think that actually represents. Like okay, they could be a really smart genius though. So that is like a little factor that could waver my judgment. But I think like on the surface level, I would go, no, this test isn't fair. However, if someone were to ask me, was the test fair? I would probably say, yeah, the test was fair because someone asked me and I'm like, well, I'm not going to say what I really think. But like at the same time though, I also do believe that since that is the opinion that I send out to people, like I also do believe it because I'm also not one to lie outright because I believe both to be true. It just simply depends who asks me. Because like context matters. Like I said for this specific context, I believe both to be true. Yes. But if you were to ask me like, okay, is it right to kill a kitten? I would say no, because obviously that's a different contextual question. You can have a question where both answers are true. Like, for example, let me think of an example. No, okay. Let's use this example, right? Let's say you see a cat, and it's like a really chunky cat, right? Like it's a really big cat. If you look at that cat, and then if someone asks you, "Oh, is that a big cat?" What would you answer? Yes or no?
Yes, if I see a big cat, then I see a big cat.
Yeah. However, lions are way bigger, so that's not actually a big cat. Because lions are cats.
It's off of.
And okay, to be fair though, if you want to specify feline, you could say feline instead of cat. It doesn't matter. If you say, "Oh, is that a big feline?" you would probably say yes because this is a really chunky cat. But like they would then go, "Oh, well, I meant in the context of lions and stuff." But both can be true, right? It is a big cat. Like in terms of house cats, it is big. That is
because those two statements are not contradictory. Those two statements are two separate statements.
well, no, but both can be true though.
Both are true. Can be true.
Yeah.
However, that is a separate situation from what we're currently doing because what we're currently doing are contradictory statements, not separate statements.
Yes, but I'm saying that contradictory statements can still you can still have double be true though.
Okay, let's do like the cat thing again, but instead of like, oh sorry, I meant lions. Let's just have a cat and then that exact same cat with like no change to context or anything. Can you believe that this cat is both not big and big at the same time with no change to anything else?
I don't think I quite understand like the question.
Like, can you say there is something inside of a box and also say that there's nothing inside of the box at the same time?
Are you asking me like which box is heavier without me weighing them?
There's a singular box. You do not know what's inside or if there's anything inside. Can you say
Wait. So there's two boxes that we're comparing though, right? One's open.
There's a single box. There's only one box.
Okay. Now what about the one box?
Can you say at the same time both the statement, there is something in the box, and there is nothing in the box at the same time?
Yeah, because you don't know until you open it.
So
there is literally a scientific study about that relating to cats and like there being a bottle of poison in the box.
I know Schrodinger's cat.
Hang on, that cat is both dead and alive. Yes, they are both contradictory, but they're both true. That is literally a scientific study, actually, that is backing me right here. So yes, that box is both empty and also has something inside of it. Both are true until the box is opened. Yes. There is literally a scientific study that's actually backing this specific scenario, at least. Maybe you want to change it, that's fine. But technically there is scientific study that is backing me here. Both are true, yes.
Let me look up the study again.
Both can also be false.
My understanding of the study was that it was possible for both scenarios, not that both scenarios were simultaneously correct.
Well, yes, but the understanding is that both are true until the box is open. Because
look at the specific definition.
Yes, but it will state that the cat is both dead and alive until the box is open. That is generally like the understanding of the study.
It says it is able to be simultaneously alive and dead while unobserved.
Yeah, it is both dead and alive. Yeah. Like both are true. Like both are true until it is like opened, right? Until you know. This does support what I was saying, yeah. Like you can like be very specific on, but the overtone is that.
Let me look up to see if this is a theory or a proof. It's a thought experiment, everyday objects. Okay, this is a thought experiment, and the way thought experiments are defined is a hypothetical, essentially. So
Yeah, but the underlying tone of this thought experiment that many people have gathered and thought about it on is that yes, the cat is both alive or dead, and both are true. Like,
people,
yes, it's not like an overly proofable statement, but as far as I'm concerned, you haven't said anything that was backed by a proof either. So why should that like really matter here? The underlying tone is that this is a experiment that many smart minds have gathered and given their opinions on. And generally wise, like I saw as far as I saw from like Big Bang Theory and like other like people that have mentioned the experiment, the underlying tone is that what everyone says is that yes, the cat is both alive and true, or alive and dead at the same time. You don't know until you open the box. Both are true. Like my point though is what I'm trying to state is that the majority of the population agrees on this. So you have to give me like credit there, like where it's due. Like the majority of the population does in fact agree on this thought experiment. Whether or not if it's a proof or not doesn't really matter. The point is though is that like as far as like people are concerned, if I ask someone this, they would agree with me. They would
okay,
not agree
well,
with you if you say
wait,
like
wait,
if
wait,
neither.
wait, 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 wait. Do people agree that to the conclusion that it's both alive and dead, or do people agree that this is a thought experiment? This is like showing what
That
it's meant
that
to do.
people think that it is both alive and dead. Like when someone is explained like the experiment, they go, "Well, I don't know. I mean, either or could be true." And like that's the point. Either or can be true. They are both true.
Okay, the difference
And
between either or can be true and both simultaneously can be true. I agree with the first statement, but the second statement I do not.
I
Those
mean,
are
both
two different
simultaneous.
statements.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. When it comes to mathematical proofs, when you have an either or and both are true, then that means that the simultaneous is usually also true. Maybe not always,
Could you
but like
restate
as far as
that?
I can, like, I mean,
That
like,
was a lot of conditionals.
hang on, let me just look it up then because you're concerned about proofs and such.
'Cause we're going about this using Schrodinger's cat as like a fact of law when it's a hypothetical situation.
Okay, yeah. Again, okay. Let me say it this way then. Is the or inclusive or exclusive? And in case if you need a definition, inclusive or if either or both are true. The statement A or B is true if at least one is true, and if it remains true even if both are true. However, the individual states don't magically link together. If A is true and B is false, they aren't simultaneously occurring. Or is it exclusive where or either A or B but not both? If the rule specifically means either one, then having both true breaks the condition. Which one are you talking about?
Okay,
Inclusive or
let me restate this back to you to ensure that I understand. Exclusive or is one of the two. It could be either of them, but not both. Is that correct?
having both breaks the condition, yeah.
So that is correct.
Well, that's inclusive and exclusive. It depends on the question. Because if it's an inclusive
Is my
question,
statement correct? Just is my
yeah,
statement
your
correct?
statement is correct, yes.
Okay.
Having both true breaks the condition.
Okay.
And for inclusive, A true, B false, they aren't simultaneously occurring, but they can simultaneously be true.
And then yeah, let me restate inclusive. Inclusive is it could be one, it could be two, and it can be one and two simultaneously, and all of those would be like good.
Yeah.
All of those are valid.
I
Yeah.
mean, it depends because, like, I mean, but yeah, basically, right? Like, if A is true, B is false, then A is true and B is false. But A is true and B is true, then both are true, right? Yeah, I mean, because both can be both, right? But exclusive means that if both are the case, then that's not possible because it breaks it.
Yes. Okay, so I have an accurate understanding of this. Yes.
Yes. But the Schrodinger's cat and like other similar, I'm pretty sure these are inclusive statements. Because exclusive would mean that there is like a 100% denitive or 100% like what is it called? Situation in which like it breaks it immediately, which we don't know until we actually see that. So it's not exclusive until you open the box. That is when it is exclusive. Until the box is open, it is inclusive.
Okay. My statement is that Schrodinger's cat is inclusive, and I believe reality to be exclusive. And so I am saying that I disagree with Schrodinger's cat. Yeah?
But okay. But here's the thing though, right? Like, okay, let's say that your life is on the line, right?
Okay.
So you're very pressured to answer yes or no whether the cat is alive or dead, right? And the box is closed. Are you going to answer yes or no? Do you see what I'm getting at? There is no logical proof to define like by literal logic and real world logic as well until the box is open. Yes, in the universe containing within it, there is a truth. However, as far as we observers can see it to be, and as we understand it, we do not know until the box is opened. So let me flip a coin in the background real quick, and then I'll ask you to answer yes or no, and I'll determine based off that if you live or die, because you apparently know the answer, but you don't. That's the issue.
Information. I do not know the answer. I know information that this is either heads or tails, but I do not know which of the two it is. However, because I know of its exclusivity, I know that simultaneously being both is an invalid response. That is what I am
Well, I mean,
saying.
okay, but here's the question though, right? What would happen if the killer there, if you said both is true, what would happen if he actually takes that as an answer?
And that's not a judgment on the question or the example, that's a judgment on the killer himself.
But yes, but okay, but level with me here though, right? Let's say I'm the killer, right? Let's say I do this test, right? I'm saying, okay, is the cat alive or dead in the box, right? How do you want to answer me? Like, how will you answer me? Will you say the cat's alive, the cat's dead? Or are you going to say the more logical thing of, I don't know until it is open? Both are true, right?
That. Okay, wait. I was really close to making a mistake. The response is, I don't know. However, it is not both.
I mean, that does mean that then both is true, though.
No, it does not mean that both is true then.
Well, if you don't know either,
You would
because
have to accept
this
that
is like
Schrodinger's cat is valid for you to say that both is true. I am saying that I do not
okay, yeah.
accept Schrodinger's cat to be true.
But okay, what I'm trying to say though, Brain, is I'm just simply asking you, like, how would you answer it to not die?
I don't know, but I know it's not both.
Would you actually say that?
I don't know. I would reply with I don't know, but specifying more than that is not reasonable in that conversation.
Okay, but yes, but then what if the killer were to ask, explain your reasoning on I don't know?
The reasoning on I don't know is that the what was it, a coin flip in the box or something?
No, the cat. The cat is alive or dead.
Okay. My explanation is I do not possess the information on which state the cat is in, alive or dead.
Yeah, so by that logic, since you answered that, that means that both must be simultaneously true until it is proven otherwise.
That statement is only valid if you accept Schrodinger's cat. Do we agree on that?
I mean, okay. When you say that statement, right? Are you saying that in like a general sort of meaning, or are you saying that in like an official sort of meaning?
What was the second option? Your mic cut out.
I said, are you saying that as like in a general saying, or like as like an official say? Because technically, if anyone doesn't disagree with anything, then obviously it's not going to, be the case, right? Like, for example, like if I say, oh look, there's a Mountain Dew can, and you go, no, it isn't, but it literally is a Mountain Dew can, then therefore, like, like I can't convince you because that's just simply your stance, right? Like, are we saying in general stance or an official way? Because if you just mean in general way, then yeah, because that's always true. It doesn't matter what the conversation is about, right?
I'm saying okay, wait. Let me reinstate the definitions to make sure I understand. General would be just your personal belief. Official means this is correct and absolute of the universe, right?
I mean, not necessarily universe, but just how people view it.
Like, it's more than just you, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm saying this as an official stance. You have to accept Schrodinger's cat to be able to say not knowing would mean both is simultaneously true.
Can you restate that one more time?
Yeah. I am saying that as a official statement that you need to accept Schrodinger's cat to be true in order to say that the statement I do not know, therefore both is simultaneously true to be a valid statement.
But you don't actually have to believe it, though. You can just simply say it and not believe it, if it means you'll live, right?
That is an option. Okay.
Yeah. So that does go against what you were saying then, right? Because okay, let's imagine it this way, right? If let's say if the person, I know this is a really silly example, and this might not be completely correct, but I just thought of it and I think it's funny. So let's say the person has a really bad haircut,
Okay.
and they're pointing a gun at you, right? And they say, "Is my haircut good?" You're and let's just say, like, as a matter of fact truth, it is not a good haircut, by the way. It's not. Let's just be honest, it's not. Like, the universe accepts it as well, right? Let's just say that.
Sure, as an official
Are you going? Yes. Like, it is officially stated that is a bad haircut in all forms of matter and acceptance. If there is a God, he would say that is a bad haircut, right?
Okay.
In this situation, are you going to tell the guy with a gun that looks pissed that his hair looks bad?
No.
You see what I mean, right? But you don't believe it. So you can say something without having to believe about Schrodinger's cat. You can still say that both is true if you would assume that that would be the correct answer, even if you don't agree with it. If that would get you out of a situation.
I
right?
think the difference, though, is that you don't know this guy's whether or not he believes in Schrodinger's cat, right?
Well, this isn't a Schrodinger's cat question, though. This is a different type of question. It's just simply like, he's asking you, is his haircut bad? And he's pointing a gun at you.
Like, the haircut question, it's simple because you know, on a general sense, that people want their haircut to be good. You know what they want. But Schrödinger cat, you don't know what they want from you. They don't know. You don't know if they want you to believe or not.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. What if the killer was like a professor, what if he looked really smart? You would know what type of answer he would want, right?
No, because not all professors believe in Schrodinger's cat.
I'm saying that like the majority do though, right? You were saying that that people want to be told that their haircut looks good, right?
Yeah.
However, that's not necessarily always true. Some people like to joke around and go, "Yeah, my hair looks dog shit," right? Like they like to joke in life. I know that the guy has a gun, he's looking at you pretty angrily, but maybe he's just wanting the truth. Maybe everyone throughout the whole day hasn't been truthful to him or has been running away and maybe pissed because of that, right? You don't know, right? But logically, going off of what is the most likely situation, the most likely, keyword most likely, you give an answer based off that result, right? So if you saw a really smart looking guy, aka like a professor, right? Like let's say like I don't know, you walk into like the professor's office. So there's even like the whole like, yeah, as an actual professor, you know this, right? You're more inclined to say that like both is true or it's neither or, right? Like you're inclined to answer it that way because that's the most likely situation that you're getting out of there. Even though you don't believe it, you know that that is the correct answer that they're searching for. Based off of like, let's say, like a, I don't know how many different percents you want, but let's say the biggest percent is that like they're probably searching for that answer, right?
If I know that they're
Because that
looking
is
for that
significant.
answer, then I would say that whatever
Yeah,
it is they want.
yeah, but you don't have to accept Schrodinger's cat in order to say that. You don't have to accept it. You just have to simply say it.
Okay. Okay. I see the difference that you're trying to say. You can say it, but you won't believe it, right?
Yeah, because you're going off of whatever the situation, like, because here's the thing, right? There's two different layers to this. There's the question that they're asking you, and there's a situation where you're trying to get out of it alive. You may not believe it, but you know that it is the correct answer in the context of whether or not you get out. So, as far as you are concerned, in that moment, it is the correct answer. That's what I'm trying to say here. I know that's not, I don't mean that in like a very literal sense, but I mean that in like a very loose sense, you know? Like that is the correct answer because that is what gets you out of it live because you're only concerned about getting out of it live, right? And you're looking at a really smart guy, you know about Schrodinger's cat, whether or not if you agree about it or not, if they look really smart, you know that most people, because this is a true statement, like most people do agree with Schrodinger's cat, this thought experiment. So you would say that like, oh, I think that's near alive or dead until you open the box. They'd probably like look at you and then smile and then applaud you and say, you can go, right? Most likely. Or he might just say, fuck no, it's already dead and then shoot you, right? I mean,
Fuck
that's also
no, it's
possible.
dead.
But logically though, right? Like you're going to expect him to want some kind of fancy answer. Because I know I would if I walked up to a professor. Like whenever I walk up to a professor, like when it comes to a math question, I prepared to answer them way differently than I would answer you, right?
Right.
When it comes to like a question, like that's just simply like where context matters. So both can be true. Like that can be the correct answer that gets you out of it, and it can also be the incorrect answer. Both can be true because like you're getting out of it alive. Like I mean, who really cares?
And are we saying we're applying this to the like SAT, ACT, like whoever is saying the test?
Yeah, like whoever is asking me, I think both is true. Whatever the context is behind it, I think both is true.
Okay, but I think there's a difference that we can like describe here. I believe one to be true personally, and then I believe another to be true in order to get the favor of this person.
For the person, I think like instead of favor the person, I just mean society. Like you can in place like the word
Favor
society.
society.
Yeah. I do, but I also do think that due to how society works and how people work in society, that has
Your mic is currently not picking up.
Oh, hang on. Let me change my phone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Last thing I heard was, I believe that society, and then cut out.
Okay, like what I'm saying is though is that like if society is going by that, then I think that is its own truth. I do think it is true. Like because like society decides like what it goes by, right? Like whatever society says is the truth. Now obviously you can cause rebellion and such, but if you don't have enough will to cause a rebellion against it, then it is just the truth, right? Like if you don't want to bother with a rebellion over because like let's use another example, right? Let's say like we go back in the old times where there's like a king and a queen and all that stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
whenever the king makes a rule, you might not agree with the rule, but that is the new rule. That is the truth, right? Like what I'm trying to say here is that like it doesn't matter what I think, but I think both is true. I think logically, yes, like the SAT things, that is correct. But I think morally that it's also not. Because if I were to try and push my opinions onto anyone else, who is, let's say an education person. Let's say it's not like a random person that's like against SATs as well, right? Let's say it's someone from the other side, right? I know I'm not going to get any ground with them. And I know that like maybe if I were to say that, like maybe I would get in trouble. Like maybe they would take away my college degree or something, right? So logically, like I'm going to go with society because I do think that is also true. Like I can think both are true.
But you believe both are true under different conditions. One is true within yourself. One is true, like, in context of whoever is ruling, whoever is around you. Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Those are
yes, and like
different
that's the
truths.
thing though, is that like and that's the thing though. For me, I value those equally. Like in this like what I'm trying to say here though is that I'm a very logical person. So I value them equally. You do not. You value, let's say morally, like say 90%, and you value like technical stuff maybe 10%. But personally, I value things like 50-50 basically.
Although these are similar beliefs, are they not separate beliefs?
I mean, like, okay, like I can say yes, but you can't just immediately derail and say, okay, yes, then, right? What I'm trying to say though is that yes, they are separate beliefs, but I do believe in both. They are separate beliefs, but I believe in both.
I think that's okay. I agree with that.
Yeah. So when you ask me, like, if the child is like proficient in math, I would have to say yes, because since I believe both to be true, and like basically like it just really comes down to like which one do I feel like fighting over a little bit more. In that context, since I'm in the like let's say like someone is like professional looking is asking me, I'm just going to answer that. But like if you ask me later, I'd probably say fuck no or something, right? Like I still think both to be true.
Okay. Both to be true in separate conditions, though. It's not both to be true. Okay. It's a little weird because being vague
Now I get
without
what you mean. Like
yeah.
yes, like they can be in separate conditions and that's fine. But like if on any given day, if someone does ask me, I might answer differently, even if it's a friend in both situations. Like for example, let's say if it was Boom that was asking me, right? And like maybe Boom is asking me in terms of like for example, what if Boom asked me like, does SAT determine how smart you are for stuff? I would say yes, right? If Boom was just asking me like stuff like as like an offhand question, like does SAT determine how smart you are usually? I'd say yeah, right? But if she were to then, or sorry, if he were to then say, oh, I meant like as a person though, I would say, oh no, it doesn't determine how smart you are, because both can be true.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying there?
Yes, both
Like
are true. However, you need to recognize that they're separate statements, not the same. That's the only stipulation that I have with that.
I do get that, but at the same time though, let's say for example, right? Like, let's say we do go with the example where me and Boo were to agree that the SAT isn't important in determining how smart you are, right?
Mhm.
So the logical conclusion to probably get is to probably not take the SAT, right?
Sure.
I think you understand what I'm getting at, right? Green?
But hello.
Oh, you're like very silent. Like I can hear you, but far away.
Is this better? Is this better?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
But do you see where I'm about to go with this, though, right? Because if we do agree with the stipulation that the SAT isn't important with determining how smart you are, then logically you shouldn't have to take the SAT. That would be the logical conclusion that we would get talking person to person, right? Morally. However, logically, you would still do the SAT, right?
Because
Because that is what society determines what is important about you.
but
Even though you morally
that's it though. That's two separate. Like both are true because both are separate. That's
Yeah, so what okay, yes, and I do agree with what you're probably about to say, but let me just say this before like my thought process gets cold. Due to that though, right, that situation, morals do not decide what you always do. That's what I'm trying to get at. Morals do not decide your decisions. What decides your decisions is basically like let's just say summarize it, let's just say survival, right?
sure.
Morals do not determine your decisions. They do not. Survival determines your decisions, right?
Yes.
So therefore, no matter how much my moral opinion matters right here, it doesn't actually matter in terms of my survival. Do you get what I'm trying to get at here?
Yeah. So
Like, okay, let me put it this way then. Let's say if I wanted to, like let's say if I hated arguments, right? And I
yeah.
wanted this argument to go by as quick as possible, I would have just agreed with you like a few hours ago, cut the call, and then watch YouTube videos and not even care about it,
Low
right?
key,
Because
kind of what I was
yeah,
considering doing because it was getting late, but like I'm invested.
but you get what I mean, real, right?
Yeah, I'm
Even
invested.
though morally, even though morally, I would think to myself, "Oh, my time matters. Who cares?" Right? However, at the same time, like that isn't going to decide what I'm going to be doing. Logically, I want to argue this because it doesn't make sense logically, and even though logically doesn't go against what I believe, of like, let's say my time being important or not. Logically, I'm like, I think this is important to talk about because your moral decisions doesn't decide all your actions. Both can be true.
There,
You can be 100% against the SAT. You can want to shoot the government for making the SAT, but you will still do it because both are true.
both are true under separate conditions, and they cannot be simultaneously true.
Well, no, they can simultaneously be true, though. You can have a moral dilemma against SATs, but they can logically be the most important factor with determining how smart you are. They can simultaneously be true.
But that
I
is
think
that statement that is not simultaneous. That is separated. Those are two
well
different
no.
conditions.
Okay, when you say two different conditions, let's say like you're at the SAT like filing out the questions and throughout the whole time you were morally like I hate this. I don't want to do this, right? Both can be true. Like you were doing both at the
Yeah,
same time,
yeah.
right? So both can be
In
true.
terms of time, it can be simultaneous in terms of time. However, it cannot be simultaneous in all aspects.
I mean, that's fine. But like in terms of like on like a simpler like playing field, like when we're talking about like most day-to-day things, like I'm thinking of time and that sort of thing, right? Like I'm not thinking about like every little tidbit contained within the universe of the atoms of like the left molecule of the soda can, right? Like I'm thinking of like at face value what is true simultaneously, right? And that is true simultaneously. Like if you're looking at day to day, like if we did not have this conversation and like you were probably asked about like a question containing that or something, you probably would say that both is true without this whole conversation like leading up to it. And like you maybe not wanting
What
to
was this?
like acknowledge that
What
both
was
can
this
be true.
battering, by the way? That both can be true?
I don't know, Schrodinger's cat, or do you mean before?
Before that. I think it was like a test is invalid and valid or something, right?
Yeah, a test can be invalid and valid at the same time. And I think that is
Okay.
true.
The tricky part of that is it's using specifically the word at the same time, but it's not expressing just the element of time in like individual. It's also saying like at the same condition, but it's using the specific word of time, which is why I'm not able to say like are we able to accept that even though it says at the same time that it's meaning at the same condition?
Well, I don't think that's what that necessarily means. You would just simply say at the same condition, though.
Okay.
Because those mean two different things, I would think. Because the fact that you have to specify it does suggest that they are different.
Okay, so then the difference between your statement and my statement was whether we believe to say both of them at the same time meant same temporally or conditionally.
Yeah, okay, but
That was
here's the thing. Yeah, and that's fair. However, you can then therefore ask me, or I can therefore ask you, which condition is it?
either or.
But here's the thing then there is no answer that I can give you because there is no condition for me to give my truthful answer towards because I'm like right in the middle of like 50-50. Like I believe both to be true. So what am I supposed to say? There is no condition because you do agree and you have stated before that there is different conditions, right? So therefore you have to give me a condition. Now you could be unfair to me and say, okay, the condition morally, right? And I am going to be forced to answer that way. But if you were to then move on and not even account the logical condition, then I think I would feel a little cheated and that wouldn't be fair. You would then have to ask me, okay, now logically the condition. And then I would give a different answer, right? Do you get what I'm trying to get at? Like
Okay.
you're trying to get at something where I don't stand on either side more of. I believe both to be simultaneously true. So how are you supposed to get a non-conditionless condition out of me?
Okay. So
Does that make sense? Is that just reasonable?
Yeah, I actually kind of do understand. I agree with you that both are true at the same time. However, I disagree with you in saying both are true simultaneously in the same condition.
Yeah. So
That's like
then
hella
I ask
nitpicky,
you,
but like
yeah,
I guess that
and
works.
that's fair. So then I have to be fair though and state you and ask you which condition is it?
Yeah, let me type this out though, because I'm gonna forget this.
That does make sense though, right? Is that you keep asking me this question without a condition when I believe both. You have to ask me which condition, and that is fair, but then it's not fair towards me because you only asked me one condition. Because like you're asking for an opinion that is perfectly even without a condition to sway the factor.
Yeah.
So here's the question. How are you going to get an answer out of me without giving me a condition?
That's
There is your challenge. You have to get an answer out of me without giving me a condition.
And we can't just say whichever one's bigger because they are both the same for you.
Yes.
Okay, I understand it now.
Like, do you understand why I'm having such trouble answering this? Is because you're not looking at it from the perspective that I'm looking at, I think both are true. But when you ask me, like, there's no conditionless statement to this or not, I'm like, well, I can't answer them. Like, I can't. Like, you have to give me a condition, and I'm going to lean towards whichever one it is.
The conversation that we're having right now is giving me the same feeling that the conversation about, like, dividing by 0 gave me. This shouldn't exist.
But this is what I mean by both are true, though. Because it depends on conditions, and I do agree with you that both conditions cannot be true. However, you cannot ask a conditionless question expecting it to contain a condition.
Bro.
I mean, that makes right. I mean, like the way how you're wording the question, it's like maybe if I lean towards the other largely enough, because like I don't think 60-40 would be fair, because the 40 would kind of nag at my head a little bit, and I wouldn't want to answer with the 60. I feel like it would at least have to be like 70-30 or more for me to like give an answer without there being a condition to it. So I think if you believe more or the other by a certain percentage, then you can give an answer to a conditionless question, even if you do also believe that both are true. If that's what you're saying, then yes. However, I'm like very much in the middle.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not even completely in the middle. Maybe I'm 60-40. However, that's still enough in the middle for me not to be able to give an answer.
That's not comfortably on either or.
Because, like, for example, like, let's say, like, for example, you see like a kind of complex problem, but it's not that complex. Like, let's say like it's asking you to give the derivative to like a specific thing, but you don't know exactly the derivative rule, but you think you do. You're not like you will like you do have the ability to answer if you are being forced to, aka on a test. But in reality, you wouldn't really want to answer it. You would answer like either or, like this one or this one, right? Because you think it's like either or of these, and like, well, I have to lean towards one of these forcefully, 60-40, so I guess I'll pick this one, but I'm not confident in it, right? It's the same thing. You can't expect me to pick either or, unless if you are like truly trying to force me out of it, but even then it's like, I really just can't. Unless if you're going to give me like some type of reward for doing it, in which case I'll just answer and get it over with. Like if you say, I'll give you $10 if you answer this question, then like I'm incentivized to just answer it and just give you maybe the answer you want. That way I get $10. Because that sways my opinion then. That would be a condition that would sway me.
Okay.
It could be like a condition that's outside of those things. It could be like an outsider condition. But a condition nonetheless. Something that sways the 50-50 or 60-40 enough for me to like tip over.
So the only way that you make use of this hypothetical is for you to mention both conditions, and how would that apply to my original thing of rhythm game should only count non-freebies? That's, I believe that the test is absolute if my brain's getting fried. Can we talk about this tomorrow?
Well, I mean, I can summarize it. I mean, like when it comes to the test in the rhythm game, the issue that you had is that how the test score shows how well you did in the rhythm game, because morally you believe that it goes by a different scale than what is shown, even though it shows 98 out of 100. You know inside your heart morally that that's not 98 out of 100. That's like 50 out of 100. But in terms of what is on the screen and what I would say, yeah, by society standards, yeah, 100 is basically perfect. But you do not think that is basically perfect. You think that is far from it. You think that like only maybe if you miss one or two, that would be basically perfect instead of 13 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because there are like that's how I view it. Because I mean, and that's how society would view it, but that's not how you would view it. Because there's different like conditions and whatnot.
Yeah, because there's a condition. Oh my god.
But if you were to instead ask me, like, if you were to explain the situation and then ask me morally, do I still think that? Then I would probably answer no. I would probably go, yeah, I guess I do agree with you. However, when you were asking me, like, is that what you think though? I'm like, well, I mean, to be brutally honest, no. If I see a 98 out of 100 based off of like what I know about rhythm games, I would assume that's like perfect.
I swear, Leaf, you're like the only person I can ever say anything even close to like topics like this to. There's not a single other soul that, honestly, for you to me as well, there's no one else that could understand any of this fucking shit, bro.
I mean, another thing that comes into account with it too, though, is that there's expertise, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have expertise in this field and I don't. So from my perspective, even if you maybe do explain to me, since I held the belief previous that 98 out of 100 is basically perfect, I would still be inclined to think that. Until like maybe after like maybe I actually get into your field and I actually do rhythm games and I see how hard it is and how like this and that, then I would probably go, yeah, no, this isn't even perfect. I only got 98 out of 100. That's like terrible.
Yeah.
Or something. Well, okay, it's not like the word terrible, but you know what I mean. It's like mid or something. Whatever you want to use.
It's low-key terrible.
Yeah. Like,
okay, yeah.
I don't know, like, so when you ask me, like, is that what you really think? Then I'm going to say yes, because I'm just looking at it from like a technical standpoint.
You do really believe it under these conditions, and under other conditions, you really do believe it in the other way.
Like, yes. But like, yeah, because even in the other conditions when we're asked, I do believe the technicality side, but I do still agree with the morally side. It talked me into it a little bit more. I would agree with it as well, because I do now. But at the same time, from a technical way, I still think that 98 out of 100 is still technically perfect.
Psychology, like, tickles that one part of my head, bro. Or is this the other one? Whatever, P study. This, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But do you get what I mean, though? Like, I can agree with you, but I can also think that the other is also true. Because, I mean, like, if I look at 98 out of 100, I'm going to say that you did really fucking good. Because I know that if I were to do it, I'd get like a 20 out of 100 or something.
Yeah. I was, a lot of this conversation was me trying to comprehend how you could believe contradictory statements under the same condition, not under the same time, which really, really, like, bogged it down. I mean,
that's
understand.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, like, yeah, I mean, that's fine. I can think that, like, under a specific condition, neither can be simultaneously true, but you can still think of it in the back of your head, though. Like, if you have to give an answer, you can give one. It is dependent on condition.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I do agree. I mean, that's basically what you said, but it's just more specific.
Yeah, yes.
I think.
Bro,
So it's like, yeah, I agree. It's fun.
I'm so fried with this, bro. Like, I'm hearing information and nothing's coming in anymore.
It's pretty funny. But, I mean, I'm glad that you got so invested you wanted to stay up for it, though.
Yeah, yeah, I was very heavily considering just like, my bad, Leaf, you're right. This is a satisfactory conclusion.
Yeah. But, like, that statement that I did say, though, right? Like, both are true in that case, right? Like, you're just going to agree with me because society, me, in quotations, right? You're going to agree with that. In reality, though, morally, you don't think it's true. But it's just simply on condition. The condition is that you're tired. Yeah. Both is true.
Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, you see what I mean, though, right? There is a condition that is swaying your opinion one way or the other.
Yeah.
Normally, you would never sway towards agreeing with me instantly. However, you being tired would sway that condition into coming to conclusion.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when we start arguing, like, way before, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think either or of us, but I was simply trying to state is that, like, like technicality, like 98 of 100 is perfect. I do think that is true. It is true. But morally, like when you're talking about like in terms of like, oh, in sort of your subspace, it's probably not true at all, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I agree. I do agree. Somehow we got back to this and we do agree. Damn.
Yeah, because again, it just depends on factors. Like
Yeah. Okay.
both can be true.
And I think on that note, I'm gonna go pass out. I'm happy
Yeah,
with
that's
the ending of this. Oh
all
my
right.
god. Good night, Leaf. I'll knock out like a log.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya.